guys, welcome to or welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. I was about to do a Lardy video, but BitChute's being a pain in the hole again, and then I saw the title to this and I thought, she's going to be an obnoxious twat, isn't she? 10 habits I'll be doing in 2024 for my best life. Should we jump in?
10 habits I'll be doing in 2024 for my best life. These are things that I have written down and been thinking about to work on and to implement into my life in 2024 to make my life even more beautiful and peaceful and productive and healthy. All of those things that I think we all want. Just listened to a podcast by Mel Robbins, and she had some questions to ask yourself at the end of the year when you're preparing for the next year, and it was things like, what are the highlights of the past year of your life? And that is pretty much the avenue I'm going down. Is I tried to reflect on last year, think about the things that were rewarding that I want to continue to work on, and then I thought about things that I kind of left open-ended. There were some things last year that I wish I would have worked on a little bit harder. So let's start with exercise.
What was the highlight of your last year? I was still alive. Fucking highlights. Didn't even get my hair highlighted. I can't even remember the last year. Every year morphs into the next year. It's pretty much the fucking same every year. Oh, sorry. International quilting event on Create and Craft, and they've got some really cute things. They're showing some really cute things that they've made. I've gone off on one already. I was actually looking at the Steam Spring sale. It's the game thing, and they've got a game on there where you make quilts and play with cats. I'm this close to buying it, and it's like, that's my life. Playing pretend I have a cat on the internet. I've got a cat in wildflowers that I can take pictures with and pet. And this is another one. It was like, oh, shall I get that one? I'll have more cats. God, I'm pissed off with her already, and it's only, where are we? 1 minute, 2 seconds in.
You've been here with me, last year I started walking. It ended up being, I guess, the nighttime most of the time, because in the summer I would usually wait until it got in the 80s and out of the 90s, and I would walk for at least 45 minutes. I had kind of gotten a little routine, and I was very proud of myself for doing that, because
I was really proud of myself for wearing a skimpy top and a mini skirt to wander around the neighbourhood and smile at all the men walking.
Because I'm not someone who just loves to exercise. It's just not one of those things. But when I thought about all of the reasons that kept me from exercising, I one by one worked on those and got it to where I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I looked forward to it after a long day. It was kind of like a way to unwind, just get away and not have to
get away and unwind from the busy life I have with all my children and the upkeep of the house and the full-time job I have and being good to my health. Go fuck yourself, Lisa. Honestly, if you had a real fucking hard life, you would know what hit you. And your lip fucking liner looks disgusting. There, said it.
Really talk or do something and enjoy being outside. My mom used to always say sweating was good for you. I think it is in a way. It's just freeing.
Oh, like you walked fucking fast enough to get a sweat on. Shut up.
I loved it. But I soon realized I do not enjoy walking in the cold. I just don't. I've tried it. My ears hurt. I dread it. It takes away.
My little ears hurt in the cold and I don't. Wear fucking ear covers then, you dimwit. Dress for the occasion. Maybe speed your walk up so it keeps you warm. Just proof that the walking was fuck all to do with exercise and more to do with parading around the neighbourhood showing the fucking men your tits.
All of those things that I really enjoy about walking. So I rejoined the gym until I can
And I went once.
Get to the point where I can walk outside. I am going to walk in the gym, and I'm also going to look at it as time to spend with my daughter. She's 23. Gosh, she'll be 24 in March.
24 today. Happy birthday, Brooke. Today's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you out there. And if anyone's going out and getting langing, you have a couple of pints for me, please. Thank you.
And we're going to do 12-3-30. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Lauren Gerardo. I'm going to start with that. And then I already do like weights with my arms at home. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do...
I already do weights with my arms at home. What do you... What? Your nose, your ears? What do normal people lift weights with?
That at the gym also, and just try to enjoy it. I'm going to look at it as temporary, and I'm going to look at it as something good I'm doing to spend time with my daughter, good for my health. And
you spend all fucking day, nearly every day, with your daughter. How about you spend some time with your son?
A good little escape. Waking up early. Now this is something
you've
that
always
I do
done
pretty regularly, but there have been times that I would just let myself sleep until whenever I woke up. But I have noticed, especially in the last few months of last year when I was really, really busy, and every minute...
Really busy, folks. She was really, really busy.
...of the day counts. If you will wake up at 5:30, I've tried 6:30, 5:30 is the best. It will amaze you what you can get done by lunchtime. Honestly.
Yes, but when you think about it, Miss Dumbass, if you get up at 5:30 in the morning and go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, you're not having any more hours than somebody who gets up at 9 o'clock in the morning, stays up till 12 o'clock at night. Does it matter what the time is? It's not like you have little children anymore and you get up at 5:30 to get stuff done before they wake up. You have nobody to do anything for other than yourself. It suits you to get up at 5:30. Knock, 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 knock.
You can get a full day's work done by lunchtime. And then you have time to do the things that you enjoy, like go to the pool, go to the beach, go to a movie, go shopping, go do whatever it is that you...
So does every fucker else. I don't know what it is you're doing from 5:30 till 12 o'clock. But most people can get everything done from 9 till 12. And then spend time doing things they like. And then spend a few more hours maybe doing something of an evening. And they don't all run off to bed after they've eaten.
You like to do. And then you have time to eat at a good hour. And then go to bed early. And
why? Why go to bed early? Because... you have set yourself this fucking diet where you eat at a certain time, you starve yourself the rest of the time, and you can't cope being hungry, so you go to fucking bed. Why is getting up early and going to bed early any different than getting up late and going to bed late? You do what suits you, which you've always done for your entire life.
And I have a lot of people ask me, they just can't go to sleep that early. It's kind of like a cold turkey type thing with me. I have to just do it, and you will eventually be sleepy from 9 to 10. That's usually when I go to bed. Sometimes I go to bed as early as 8:30. And it's just so...
You're in bed at 8:30 when I'm just waking up and coming alive. Always been a night person, probably because I work in pubs. Worked in pubs and clubs. But it's like, just because being an early bird suits you doesn't mean it's going to suit anyone else. And it has fuck all to do with your productivity. You can get stuff done as much being a night owl as you can being an early bird. So shut up.
Much more rewarding than sleeping in, and then before you know it, it's time to eat, and you feel like the whole day just...
See? It's time to eat because it's her way or the highway, and there's a time for everything. Why can't you move the time to eat later if you got up later? No, because you've starved yourself since silly o'clock.
Like whizzed by your face. And I think that if you have small children, this is not going to be an issue for you. But if you're my age and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to sleep till 8 o'clock. If you'll get up at 5:30, and don't you love that time alone when the house is quiet? And
don't you have that time alone all the fucking time?
And I'm like just up here with my kitties. I kind of enjoy that time. I can catch up on, I usually journal. I do, whatever work needs to be done. They say to eat the frog in the morning, and if you have 2 frogs, eat the biggest one first. Any of those things that you
eat. What are you fucking going on about? Eating frogs. Leave the frogs alone. Eat the biggest one first. I'm sorry, Lisa, unless you tell me or do a video, a day in the life of, there you go, there's a video idea for you, and show us what all this work is that you actually do. I don't believe you're doing fucking anything other than sodding doodling in your journal till John makes you breakfast.
Have to do, go ahead and do it. Catch up with my email. I do those things. And then by 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go downstairs, put my makeup on, and just get ready for the day. Protect my peace. People, places, and things. I've already started this in the last few years, but wow. Once you realize the difference it makes in your life when you get rid of the things that are bringing you stress, you will never go back. And I know...
What brings you stress, really, honestly, in your life? What is there that stresses you? Absolutely friggle. And if any of your minions are here watching, and you come over here to protect her and go into battle for her, she doesn't care. She's protecting her peace. She doesn't watch me, apparently. She's protecting her peace. So why would she need you to come over here and tell me to stop doing what I'm doing when it's not bothering her? Because she protects her peace.
I know this comes with maturity because a lot of these things take time, and they're awkward, and they're uncomfortable, and they're out of our comfort zones. And a lot of it too is acceptance. And that is something that I do think comes along with getting older and going through so many experiences. But
like what? What experiences have you gone through?
I have just learned to accept where I don't want to go, things that I don't want to do.
You've just accepted that, have you? That's been your entire life. Lisa gets what Lisa wants. Lisa wanted to go out to eat every night. We went out to eat every night. Lisa's on carnivore. We stay home every night. Lisa wants to go to the new flashy mall in Florida or wherever the frig it was. So the whole family finally gets a fucking 3-day vacation, but 2 of them are taken up shopping. I know all my subscribers see it, but if there's any new people here and you weren't aware, can you really not see that this woman's a narc? Short of having it tattooed on her very large forehead, she proves it daily and people can't see it. I don't understand. I'm the one with the shit eyesight. What's wrong with you lot?
And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm not going to feel less than.
You've never felt guilty or less than, ever.
Because I don't do these things.
No.
And I'm going to feel proud of the things that I do want to spend time doing. And I'm going to do that more. And if there are people in my life that are constantly bringing me down or, making you feel stressed, making you feel less than, making you feel on the defensive. That's a good way to put it, because there are some people.
Who in your life is doing that you haven't cut out already? Really, please tell me. Nobody dare says anything to you about anything. You just do what you want to do all the time.
People in your life, you won't even realize that they're stressing you out, but you will notice that when you talk to them, they make you justify your actions, and they're constantly making you question your decisions. That's not peace. That's not who you need in your life.
Right. But what if they're looking out for your welfare and they're saying, Lisa, I don't think these $2,500 hauls are a good idea. You just cut them out of your life. Lisa, I think maybe you should get your hair trimmed and you'd feel better about it. Cut them out of your life. Lisa, maybe stop wearing the 90s lip liner. Cut them out of your life. That's not disrupting your peace. That's people having an opinion. You've got one. Why are they not allowed? Lord above. I just can't. This woman, I really can't.
You want people in your life who support the real you. And I mean, to get to that point, you have to decide who the real you is. And I feel like I'm at that point. And I really did start this. I would say.
You're at that point now. At 53. I married Jed. I was 29. And he accepted the real me from day one. And so does everybody else in my life. Because I don't lie to them. What you see is what you get. It's not the same with you though, is it really? You want everyone bowing down and kissing your feet. That's what you want.
Since I've been in this house, I've done a lot of changes in my life and really simplified a lot of things, and it's been so rewarding. It makes the good things.
I make John cook all the meals. I make the cleaning ladies clean the house. I make the garden people do all the outside. I get Brick to steam. That's what they call her on the bakery. I get Brooke to steam all my clothes and do my reels because my legs and hands are yucky and no one wants to see them. What else? And I go out every day. I get my Diet Coke and my McDonald's, and I drive around the area that I wish I'd bought a house in, and then I go and sit in somewhere where I could get fucking killed and raped but don't think about it, and spend time on my own, because that time in the morning at 5:30 on my own isn't quite enough. I need more time on my own. And then I come home and I get John to cook the meal while I have my shower, and then I watch a bit of telly with him just because, and then I go to sleep. All day's down to you. You've simplified your life into fucking nothing. You do nothing. You spend 20 minutes with your husband of a night.
Things in your life stand out even more. So people, places, and things, not in a rude way, and you might not have to cut out someone completely, but you might have to kind of scale back and, just reflect on things. That's what I've had to do. And I always do try to think of, what would God want me to do? What are the best things?
Wow.
What should I do to be a...
What would God want me to do? Stop spending money that you don't need to. Spend more time with your family. Maybe, I don't know, volunteer once a month or whatever somewhere. Donate to people. Pick a family in the neighbourhood that are having a hard time and get a fucking food delivery delivered to them. I don't know. Do something good is what God would want you to do. Not staring at yourself in 9,000 fucking mirrors and fucking primping and preening yourself. Wow, what would God want?
Good person, to be a good daughter, a good wife, a good mom. That's what's most important to me. What's not important is what someone, 5 doors down thinks of me. And I used to worry about stuff like that. So I've really gotten better, but I still caught myself last year worried about some of those things. And so I'm going to continue to work on that in 2024. Traveling more and becoming more involved.
How does this help anyone else? Just asking. All you've done is sit there and go on about your perfect life and how you're going to make it more perfect. I don't see you actually giving any tips to anybody else on how they should do stuff in their life, which is what you said you wanted to do.
I think I've mentioned to you that I would love to travel more. And, you know, of course, I would love to go to London, Paris. I'd love to go to Milan. I'd love to go to a lot of different places.
Well,
but
go
I'm not
then.
going to fixate on that because I don't know if I'm at that stage in my traveling, because most of the time I travel alone because my family does not love to travel. And I'm...
So why can't you travel alone to London? Oh, they'd eat her up, wouldn't they? I'd love to see her on Oxford Street in the wrong lane, getting barged out of the way by people on their dinner hour. God, that used to fucking irritate me. Trying to get out of work and get food and get back to the office without all the dawdlers and fucking daydreamers. Now they have a fucking fast lane and a slow lane on Oxford Street, and if you're not in the right lane and you're walking too slow, boy, will they let you know.
I'm not into making people do things they don't want to do. I think I've told you before that that's miserable to me. To make someone be with me or to do something they don't want to do, that's just not good energy, and I don't want to be around that. And I'm really fairly independent, and I'm kind of a loner in a lot of ways. So I really enjoy traveling alone. And
well, there you go. Book a trip to Paris. Sit and drink. Well, you don't drink coffee, do you? Sit on the fucking cafes and have a Coke and watch the world go by. You like people watching. Loads of shopping. Loads of beautiful things to see. Not that you'd be bothered with museums or anything like that, but you could go to all the posh shops. What's stopping you? You've got the money. You've got the suitcases. You've got the time.
And a lot of times I will turn down opportunities to go to like a YouTube event or an Instagram event or a dinner or a party or just to meet friends on a weekend or something like that. I'll think of just, you know, is it worth it? Is it selfish? And, you know, dare I miss a video or all of those things. And I did a lot better last year. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone with several different events that I went to. I traveled to see friends that I had wanted to see, and I want to continue that because it is rewarding. Like when I look back and think of some of the most rewarding things from last year, a few of those were involved traveling. And I feel like I learn a lot about myself when I do that. I feel like it just enriches my life. Good.
Of course you'll learn more. Gets you out of your fucking Wilmington bubble, doesn't it? Quality sleep.
Good sleep habits. Now I touched on this a little bit with waking up early, but they're really two different things. I think I've told you I have the Aura ring, and I don't wear it all during the day, but I do wear it at night. And every morning I check to see how my sleep was. And I've learned that...
I'd love to do that. I'd love to know how much actual sleep I get. See, isn't that the best sleep? The REM sleep? And she only had 1 hour 22 minutes, even though she went to bed at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Deep sleep, 44 minutes. That's a bit shit, isn't it? She was asleep for 7.5 hours. And of those 7.5 hours, she only had 44 minutes deep sleep. No wonder she has to go to bed at fucking 8 o'clock at night. I've always wanted to try that, do the ring thing or whatever to see how well I've slept. And I really want to do that, one of those DNA things. But I am absolutely terrified. Well, I'm not terrified. I said to Jed, I reckon if I did that DNA thing, I'd probably find I have brothers and sisters all over the place, because I cannot imagine that my father only fathered me and his 4 kids with his wife. If he fathered me, there was more while he was out touring in his bands. He was in an Irish show band for many years, and then he made whatever a jazz band, and he's been a professional jazz musician. God, words. So I reckon, like, he spent his entire life touring and being here, there and everywhere. Don't tell me my mum was his only mistake. Nah, not buying it. And I said to Jed, if I did that, see, if they were already on there, it wouldn't be a shock to them, would it? If they, I don't know. I might do it one day. Be interesting to see. I put money on the fact that his 4 kids and me aren't his only ones. He told me when I met him for the very first time, I was 19, and my aunt decided it was about time I met him, because my mum wasn't doing anything about it, and neither was he. So she arranged it with a friend of the family, and I went and stayed with them, and I met him in Dublin. And he had the cheek to tell me that he only married his wife because she was pregnant. He thought that was an okay thing to say to his illegitimate 19-year-old daughter. Oh, I possibly could have married your mum if she was first in the queue, but she wasn't. What a fuckwit.
One thing that I am usually deficient on is deep sleep. So I'm going to try to work on that.
How do you work on that, though? How do you work on getting deep sleep? Unless you fucking run round the house 80 times and tire yourself out before you go to bed. I don't get it. I mean, toddlers, you see them, don't you? They're like, la 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 la. That's what we have to do, isn't it? Run around and wear ourselves out. I can't imagine that. 7.5 hours sleep, and only 40 minutes of that was deep.
Can to get more deep sleep and just pay attention to it. I really don't want to get less than 8 or 9 hours. And I know, like, some people really feel like sleep is not important, and maybe it varies from person to person, but my body feels the best, and I am the most eager to do things, happy, energetic, when I go to bed early, get really good sleep, and then get up early. Now, if I were to go to bed late and just sleep in, for some reason, I wake up and I feel so groggy.
Right. Does that not tell you then what I was saying at the beginning? Getting up early, going to bed early suits you, not everyone. You can't sit there and tell everyone else what they should be doing. This is only what suits you, and we know that. It's your video. It's all about you. Everything that you want to do to help you. You haven't once mentioned anybody else in this fucking what we're going to do next year bollocks.
I feel like I cannot wake up. I don't feel productive. I don't feel like, going anywhere. Like, the thought will pass through my head of not putting on makeup. I always make myself do it. But I just have found that no matter what, going to bed early, and that means starting your sleep routine very early too, like eating earlier, taking a shower earlier, really staying on a routine, and then getting up early, like at 5:30. Sometimes I get up as early as 4 o'clock if I wake up. I always think to myself, and this is a little pro tip from me, like if I wake up at 4:30 and I feel like, gosh, it's too early to get up, I always think to myself, well, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna start doing my thing and getting things done, And if I have to, I'll lay down and take a little cat nap this afternoon. And that always helps me get up. And how many times do I take a nap? Like maybe once every other month or something. I mean, there are times that I'll lay down on the couch and my big kitty Bubba will come lay with me, and I'll shut my eyes and I do that kind of drifting where you don't know if you really went to sleep or not. I'll do that for a little bit, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and then I'll get up. I usually like to do that around 3 o'clock, and then I'll get up and go do some more things.
Oh, but I don't do it. I like to do it at 3 o'clock. So do you do it or do you don't do it? I can't be doing with people who lie. Ask my kids. What's the one thing that'll piss Mum off? Lying.
And that's it. But 9 times out of 10, I don't even need to take a nap. And then that might be the 8:30 night that I go to bed. But I really think for me, sleep is important and I just enjoy it. I just feel so much better when I do. Okay, this is a big, big thing that I
improve YouTube videos. You've been saying that since day dot. Oh, bear with me while I try this new thing. Oh, bear with me while I'm doing this. Oh, bear with me while I'm doing that. We've been bearing with you for 15 years.
I've been thinking about this year, and it's really something that I started on a little bit last year, but I had some pride and mental blocks. I really want to work on some of my weaknesses here on YouTube and with my videos. I want to maybe do the things that it takes to attract more people, make our little group here bigger. I feel like sometimes I'm too proud to do some of the things that it takes. And I need to suck it up sometimes and do things that maybe I don't want to do, maybe more trendy topics, things like that, because I know that a lot of you found me through my carnivore videos, and then you enjoy watching my makeup and my fashion videos, but you would have never found me had I not done those specific videos. So I want to do maybe some different types of videos that may make me uneasy. For instance, that Pamela Anderson video. I wanted to do that, but it made me very uncomfortable because I in no way wanted to insult anyone, or I don't even like to seem negative. I don't like to complain. I don't like to seem negative, all of those things. Well, unfortunately...
You don't like to complain? Really? You can say that with a straight face, can you? You don't like to complain. Wow. I can't wait now to see what new things she picks out. What do you reckon she's going to do? Answers on a postcard.
A lot of those things are very clickable and they help people find you. So I want to work on maybe talking about some of our issues with menopause, with weight loss, with aging, and I want to approach them in...
Tammy's been doing the aging thing for ages. A bit late on it now, aren't you?
A happy, uplifting, realistic way. And I want to tell you things that I've done that have helped me. And I'm going to try not to worry so much about pleasing everyone, because that is tough to do. Just different things that I have been kind of stubborn with and didn't feel like changing. And I think that's part of who I am. I like routine. I don't like change. I don't want things to change. And what happens is things just change around me and I get left behind. So I'm going to try my best to become flexible, ease up on myself a little bit, and
ease up on yourself a little bit. Wow.
Do some different things that will help my channel. Spend more...
Woman on the telly looks like Hinge, because she's got her glasses right at the end of her nose. People in the UK may know what I'm talking about. Hinge. It was Hinge and Bracket, and they were two blokes who dressed like really old women and they played the piano and sang songs. I wonder whatever happened to them. They were funny. Spends more quality time with my family. Shouldn't that have been number 1 instead of number 7? spend more. I bet, right? I bet you a fiver, Lisa. I spend more time with my family, and I'm in this room on my own, than you do with yours. Tech help comes in, and he'll stand in the doorway, and I keep saying to him, sit down now. And we'll be chatting about this, that, and the other, and then we'll look, and 4 hours will have passed. It's like yesterday or the day before, and it's like, do you want anything while I'm up? That's the usual thing before he leaves. And I said, have you been down? Or are you going down? And he said, I've been down. I said, oh, it doesn't matter then. And he was like, why? And I said, I need a bottle of water. And he was like, ugh, I have to go and get a bottle of water, like I care for her. Funny. I just wish she'd stop with that really dark brown lip liner. It looks ridiculous. I know she likes it. I know you like it, Lisa, if you're watching. But just try. Suck it up. Go a week with no brown lip liner and see how you get on. Oh no, it'd be like the hair, wouldn't it? Yeah.
More quality time with my family. I have already started doing this a little bit. I got so busy, doing my YouTube channel and doing this and doing that.
What? What's this and that? And how much time does a YouTube channel take?
That I wasn't really, and also because I eat differently than my family does. I am no carbs. They are lots of carbs. And so it had gotten to the point where I wasn't going out to eat with them very much. So I started about 2 months ago, trying to go out to eat with my family once a week. And that has been...
Oh, wow. Once every week. That's amazing. Well done, Lisa. Now, does that not show how much of a narc she is?
Rewarding. And what I do is just wherever...
Oh, she found it rewarding. Going out for dinner with her family.
We go, I just do the best I can. If I have to sit there and eat the top of a pizza, or a lot of times they'll go places that are good for me, like Waffle House, and I can get eggs and bacon. Or sometimes we go to burger places and I just get my burgers. And it might not be like exactly what I want that day, but I do it because it's worth it to be with them. And
wow. Once a week, you couldn't just put them first. And if there's nothing there that you can eat, don't eat. And just spend the time with them and have a burger on the way there or on the way home. I do the best I can. Wow.
And we sit, in the booth just like we used to, and it's just, I don't know, it's so neat. It kind of takes me back to, we always say good times,
good times, yeah. When you were having it your way and they went out to eat all the time and you spent time with them. Now you don't want to know.
Good times that we've had as a family, funny things that we've talked about and funny things that have happened and just good times. So it's good to be back in that. And then, I go to see my parents at least once a week. I want to start maybe going over there another time, or maybe just eating lunch with my mom, or just doing a little something more, especially in the summer, maybe meeting them down at the beach.
Maybe inviting them to your house and you cook for them for a change.
And just really, part of cutting out the things, people, places, and things that don't make you your happiest gives you more time to embrace those things that do. Goals. This is the first year that I have ever really set some real goals as far as just, fitness and I guess, success goals and family goals and things like that. Typically, I'm not one to make any resolutions or set any big goals or have a word of the year or a vision board or anything like that. And I don't have a lot of that now, but I do journal every morning, and I focus on what I'm grateful for. And then that kind of leads into some other things. And I've, just set some goals for myself. And one thing that I had to do, because I think I've told you before that I'm just not competitive. I never have been. Like, I have never ever been into sports. I don't, even as a child playing a board game, I wasn't the kid that had to win. I'm just not that way. I'm not real competitive. And believe me, I know what competitive is, because my daughter, she had to win Candyland. I mean, it was just it is intense. And she loves to win. John loves to win. I have friends that are very, very competitive. And usually those people do well. But I do think it brings them a little bit of sadness to disappointment. The way this relates to goals is, I think that the same way, if you aren't competitive, you really never experience losing that much.
So you think it's a good thing to not be competitive, because if you lose, you don't get upset. See, that's what you've done your entire life, Lisa. You've avoided anything that upsets you. What sort of a life is that?
The same thing with goals. If you don't set a goal, well, then you don't experience not hitting it. And I think that those are two things that I have probably done to just keep everything kind of status quo and happy, all those things. And so I am setting some goals, but they're realistic. I feel like they're ones that I can achieve if I do these other things that are on my list, and I feel good about them. So I did set some goals, and I'm going to have grace on myself if I don't get to do everything every day. One little issue I do have is I feel like I can't have a good day if I didn't get something done. Something big. The thought of laying on the couch all day watching TV is like a day of misery to me. I always have something I want to get done during the day.
Who do you think lays on the couch and watches TV all day? Isn't everybody trying to achieve something every day? And most people do, because they get up, they see to their family, they cook breakfast, they see their husband off, they take their kids to school, they go and do an 8-hour shift, they come home, they clean the house, they cook tea, they do homework with their kids, they give them the evening bath, they read them a story, they put them to bed. There's going on all day, every day. But you think you've achieved something if you get a thing done a day. Well done, Lisa.
Day, and that's what makes me feel accomplished and good. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's just the way I am. So, I'm gonna try to get better about those things being realistic and those goals being realistic. Purge, declutter, and keep my spaces tidier. Now, I'm already pretty good about this, and
really?
Especially since we moved into this house, was one of the reasons we picked this floor plan, is because it had plenty of space for all of my YouTube stuff, and it has plenty of space for John, all of his, Bitcoin, and all of those 2 zillion machines down there running. And he has a golf simulator. He has his own study. We all have our own space. So there's kind of a place for everything and everything in its place. But my Friday video, I will start setting stuff out to put in the video. And I'm kind of bad about not putting it straight away. And a lot of times it's because I'm so busy, I don't have time. I'm on.
So busy, you don't have time. So that's why you chose that house, because it had an upstairs. It was your empire. So you could do your Friday haul where you're sat now and put everything in that cupboard. And you wouldn't be making a mess downstairs. There's a thought. Actually use your empire for what it was bought for.
To the next thing. So I'm going to really try to maybe create more systems to keep that a little bit nicer, because I love just walking around my house and just loving everything I look at. And as soon as my eye hits something that shouldn't be there, it has like a negative.
It's you that leaves the stuff where it shouldn't be. That's your problem. Like that picture you posted. Oh, what it looks like after the video. A fucking rack of clothes inside the front door and shoes all over the floor. When you've got the entire upstairs.
Vibe, and I am going to try to do away with those because I love when I look around and it's all good vibes. There's just something magical about that. I love it. So that's what I'm going to work on, and a lot of times that happens easier if I am constantly getting things out of here that I'm not using. Like, say I get some makeup, say I get, and this happens all the time, all the new Mario lipsticks or something like that. I didn't get all of them, but I think I got 4. Well, I need to use them, decide which ones I like, get the other ones out of here instead of them junking up my drawer. And same thing with clothes. A lot of times I will love, 10 pairs of pants or 10. She said pairs. Items, but after I've worn those 10, I can look at them and tell I really loved this, I really loved that. These I liked, but I'm not going to wear as much. Give them to someone who would enjoy them, things like that. And that way I can keep things a little bit more orderly. And sometimes I even feel like I'll look at something hanging there and I'm like, oh, I need to wear that, and there's just no point in doing that right now. I have plenty of clothes. I would rather love what I'm wearing every day. And then the last one is take more time to do the very, very simple things that bring me joy. One of my biggest regrets last year.
You do that every single fucking day.
Is, this sounds silly, but it's not. I didn't go to the beach. I went to the beach, I think, 2 or 3 times. And it's only because we have, right across here, we literally cut through our yard and then walk to the clubhouse, and we have a pool that's on the waterway. So it's so easy to just walk over to the pool. And the pool, okay, here's the beach, here's the pool. Like they're right there together. So it's not like I sacrificed a lot, but the beach has been my favorite place in the world for as long as I can remember. Like when I think of my childhood, I think of being at the beach, I think of being outside playing, and I think about being at my grandparents' house. That's just the things I think about, even more than being at school. And I missed it. I kept thinking, I'm going to try to go to the beach. I'm going to try to go to the beach. And it's a drive. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to get in my hot car. I'm going to have to go through traffic.
Oh.
And it's about I would say a 20-minute drive, which is no big deal. And, it's not as clean as going to the pool, all of those things. But what I'm going to try to do is at least go a couple of times a month, enjoy it, make a day of it, maybe meet my mom there, maybe meet my daughter there. John would probably love to go with me, and make it a priority to do something that I know that I love doing. There's just so many things that we do and we're like, gosh, I enjoyed that. Why don't I do that more? That's what I want to do. And I really, to be honest with you, I have really been working on all of these since I turned 50. Since I turned 50, I have really made a beautiful life a priority, and it works. It does. It works. You have to be brutal. You have to be fearless. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to do a lot of introspection, and you have to have self-awareness.
And you have to have a lot of money and not have a proper job and have a husband that's retired and a brand new house.
And all of that stuff, but it doesn't take a lot of money. It isn't about, money does give you choices. Money gives you choices. No one can say that it doesn't. But you can have a small home and make it just where everything you see in it is gorgeous and you love it. You can have a simple life and it be filled with things that you love, like cooking, gardening, spending time with your animals, spending time with your family. So it's all about those moments connected. And I think we've all got different things. You know what I mean? Like, some people, they want to travel. Some people like adventure. Some people like, they're foodies and they like going out to eat, and I think that's what makes the world go round. That's what makes us, interesting and just unique. I think until you really hone in on those things that truly, truly make you happy and you're not embarrassed of them, you're not ashamed to tell someone. You don't even have to tell everyone. You're not embarrassed. You're not ashamed. You don't feel guilty for liking the little silly things in your life. That is when you will truly, truly be happy. So I hope that maybe, my goals will help you for the next year. I will also link that video from Mel Robbins down below. It, was good. My daughter was here when we were watching it, and it was really heartwarming for me to ask her those questions. And like the first questions, what are the highlights of the past year of your life? I could cry. I loved hearing her answers. I loved it. So it's a good thing to talk about with your family.
Right, you're going to share? I want to know.
And it's a good thing to work on. So you guys are just a priority to me. You, like I've said before, you give me purpose, and I just appreciate you so much. And I look forward to another fabulous year growing together. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's a cool picture, isn't it? Brooke's got beautiful eyes, hasn't she? She's a pretty girl. And look at this one still in the show. Shanine. Right, we got to the end, folks. Congratulations. And if you made it with me, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one.